The advent of the 21st century has brought with it many wonderful technologies and innovations. These advances have given us many new opportunities for the education of our children. However, these advances do not necessarily transition smoothly from older traditions and reliable methods within the classroom. There are many factors that slow the implementation of ICT within the classroom, but most notable is teacher anxiety and limited resources or infrastructure. Intercommunication technologies, better known as ICT, are tools which can revolutionize the digital natives of the 21st century. There are forms of ICT that can be utilized within the classroom which are simple to install and use. The contender that stands out from the crowd is the Web 2.0 tool YouTube, which has been found to have a compelling positive impact on student attention, retainment, and achievement. The ICT tool YouTube can be used as a bridge to connect the gap between traditional teachings to innovative 21st century methods. Issues relating to 21st century technologies can come in many forms. One prominent issue is the slow implementation of the use of ICT within schools. Schools are very different to how they were 20 years ago, when ICT was just becoming a recognised tool. Now, well into the 21st century, ICT is a well-recognised tool with documented success with regards to positive effects on student learning. However, the uptake and everyday use of ICT within the classroom has been rather slow. A majority of teachers agree that ICT has positive effects on student learning, but a high percentage would use it rarely or not at all in their classrooms. This begs the question as to why the use of ICT within the classroom has been slow. There seems to be two main reasons causing the slow uptake of ICT. The first is related to teacher anxiety. There are a few issues which can cause teacher anxiety towards ICT. The first is lack of understanding or confidence with the use of new technologies. Although technologies like computers and tablets have become basic infrastructure within schools, not all teachers are comfortable or confident with using these technologies. We forget that not all of us grew up with the abundance of technology now at our fingertips. Students born within the 21st century are considered digital natives who have grown up with innovative and interactive technology and therefore are very intuitive with said technology. There seems to be a digital divide between a lot of teachers and students. Anyone born before the advent of computers and the internet are considered digital immigrants by Mark Prensky. He explains that digital immigrants have to learn how to communicate with these technologies and may find it more difficult to use and understand than digital natives. I know that there are many people that were born within the 21st century that have a great mastery of technology, but he does raise a valid point. Learning something new can be scary, like the first time riding a bike, but there are so many great things to be utilised within ICT. The second reason that seems to be behind the slow introduction of ICT is due to limited access or infrastructure within schools. Many schools have been able to incorporate many forms of ICT, such as computers and interactive whiteboards, but many others have not. Some schools have quite a disconnected environment where they may only have 1 or 2 computers per classroom or limited access to the internet. According to a study conducted by Jenny Way and Colin Webb, only 54% of schools in Australia have well-integrated ICT, including high-speed internet and a good ratio of computers to students. Limited infrastructure could be due to lack of funds, location, or a lack of interest on the teacher's part. More funding for the incorporation of ICT into Australian classrooms is needed. There is a solution that can effectively utilise the limited resources in any school. A simple ICT solution can be utilised using only an interactive whiteboard and its accompanying computer. This solution is the Web 2.0 tool YouTube. YouTube, which was established in 2005, has become the most prominent video sharing website in the world. There are thousands of videos uploaded daily, which can range from music videos to home movies to full-length movies and documentaries. In 2002, 72 hours of video were being uploaded every minute of every day. That is the equivalent to 100 years of video every single day. YouTube also happens to be the #1 site used by children aged 8 to 12 years old. Children aged 8 to 10 spend on average 46 minutes a day on the computer, while the usage increases for children aged 11 to 12 to an hour and 46 minutes a day. These primary school aged children are spending a lot of time at home using websites like YouTube. It only makes sense to be utilizing a tool which the youth of today find engaging. YouTube is not only filled with home movies and music videos, it also contains thousands of educational videos and documentaries. These educational videos can be used as supplements for lessons or as direct instruction. A teacher is able to visually represent new concepts or explore new known concepts with students. YouTube can be a very valuable teacher resource. It can be used as a method for obtaining lesson plan ideas, as well as a guidance for learning. YouTube contains many instructional videos on virtually anything. Teachers can use these videos to research ideas and information, as well as teach themselves how to use things such as apps and computer programs. This can be a most valuable time-saving resource and a support for teachers needing to learn new skills. The use of YouTube in schools has been found to enhance student learning. Many trials have already been run in schools which have found that it has a positive effect on student learning. One study compared the engagement of retainment of students who completed the same subject with and without the aid of YouTube. The control group completed the subject with traditional handouts and textbooks. The test group used instructional YouTube videos in place of the hard copy handouts. The results indicated that the students who completed the subject with the YouTube instructional videos retained information better. YouTube is a visual medium, therefore the students were able to remember the information in a more meaningful way. There have been substantial links made between learning and visual information. The reason that YouTube has shown to enhance learning is that when students view a video, they use both hemispheres of their brain. When we watch a video, the left side of our brain processes the language-related aspects. The right side of our brain processes the non-verbal elements of the video, including visual information and sound. Being able to incorporate both visual and verbal learning activates many of our intelligences. YouTube, in essence, is a digital storytelling medium. Watching videos in YouTube allows students to engage with a visual, auditory, and emotional medium. Watching a video on YouTube stimulates multiple senses and areas of the brain at once. According to Howard Gardner, each person has multiple intelligences. Watching a YouTube video activates several of these intelligences, including verbal linguistics, visual, spatial, and musical rhythmic. YouTube has the ability to make information more meaningful and enhance learning and comprehension. YouTube is a tool that can be easily accessed and used across multiple devices, making it an ideal tool for the classroom. Students only need an internet connection, a computer, and a means of displaying the videos. Many schools may have limited resources such as high-speed internet connections or 20 computers in every room. But using YouTube in the classroom does not require any of this. Some schools may have firewall protection that blocks the use of YouTube in the classroom due to the nature of some of the content found on the site. It is true that some of the content found on YouTube may not be educationally appropriate, but that is why it is key to take care that appropriate content is used. As with any tool, it is how it is used which deems its suitability. It falls to the school or the teacher to make sure that only educationally appropriate material is being viewed by the students. We also must ensure that YouTube does not become just a time filler in the classroom, but is used to enhance student learning. How we use YouTube for student benefit will deem its success. YouTube is a simple yet innovative tool which can enhance student learning. YouTube is also a modern answer to the slow implementation of technology within 21st century classrooms. YouTube is the most frequently accessed video-based internet site, not only by today's youth, but worldwide. It only makes sense to use a tool that is both relevant and engaging to today's youth. There are many issues relating to the implementation of modern technology within schools, including the lack of funds and infrastructure, as well as teacher anxiety. YouTube presents itself as a reliable and worthy solution. YouTube can be used as both a student and teacher resource and is easily accessed even by schools with limited funds and infrastructure. Many trials have already been completed in schools and have found that YouTube's visual and auditory aspects help increase student comprehension and retainment of information. The use of YouTube videos has also shown to enhance the learning experience by utilizing both hemispheres of the brain and employing several of Gardner's intelligences at once. The appropriate use of YouTube, however, does need to be maintained with sensible educational material being used within the classroom. YouTube is a tool which can easily be accessed and utilized, contains an endless amount of educational material, and has a positive effects on learning. YouTube really is a most innovative ICT tool, which will help bridge the gap of 21st technology across the country and help it flourish so that today's digital natives can learn in an environment that is both familiar, intuitive, and engaging.